Hello, everyone. All right, so today I wanted to do a guide on Void Sabotage. Now, Void missions are a mission where you go in and sabotage a enemy asset. However, where some people might find this difficult is in getting the best rewards out of the sabotage mission. You're required to find these hidden caches um, which I will put up an image here now of what the cache looks like in Void Sabotage. You're required to get 3 of them. Warframe rewards work on a rotation system, um, and the easy explanation for Sabotage is it just cares about how many caches that you found. It doesn't care about which caches you found or where they were, it's just how many. And it goes up to 3. And if you get all
Operator,
3, you
your
will get the
usual has
rarest.
ended like
You'll
an
get a
apple.
pull from the
Me
rarest reward
too.
slot. There are some ways we can accelerate us finding these caches. I'm going to start here. I picked Neja because they go fast. You can use whatever Warframe you want. I just prefer Neja. They're really good survivability. I don't have to think about whether I'm living or dying. Just go. The specific thing you want is I would recommend getting Loot Detector and Thief's Wit. Thief's Wit's a pretty common drop. It's just an Exilus mod you can get from enemy drops. And then Loot Detector is something that comes from Nightwave. So if you ever see that in shop, at least just pick up 1 copy. If you only ever use it for this, I would recommend it. Okay, so these give you Loot Radar, and Loot Radar shows up everything as little boxes on your mini map, and that includes loot caches, um, drops that you haven't picked up yet, and for our for specifically, which is important here, is resource caches from sabotage missions. They all look the same, however, so that's when our companion comes in. I would recommend using Carrier for this. Um, You can also run Animal Instinct on your companion, a Sentinel, to give you even more loot radar. I would recommend this. With all 3 of these mods, you can basically see just about everything with that's within your loot mini-map's radius. And then why I use Carrier is for this. It will automatically open up loot crates or loot caches, whatever you want to call them, within 12 meters. And what this does for our purposes is it clears out some of the squares that are just loot crates and resource piles. Like you'll see like a ferrite deposit. That'll break those two. Um, Another way you can handle that is by using an explosive weapon. I don't use explosive weapon. I don't really have one that's good for this. But if you have something like there's a Kuva bow that's an explosive bow. I can't remember what it's called, but there's explosive weapons out there that'd be really good for clearing out loot crates. The reason why we want to clear out as many loot crates as
Operator,
possible
you have
is
remembered well
because
how the Tenno
the
operates
looter
in
will
Warsaw.
not open the cache. So anything that is still left after you've broken all of the loot crates will be worth investigating as a possible resource cache. Okay, so there are 2 sabotage missions in the Void. I do Marduk. Um, it is the loot pool is the exact same. I would recommend doing Marduk because it's a higher level than which one? Than Strybog. Strybog is only level 20, so the drop chances just overall are just better for Marduk. The main reward you would be looking for is sometimes you're required to open up loot caches, resource caches in a sabotage mission for a Riven mod. I don't have an example of one here, but I have seen that before. And then
Optimized.
the other thing is for the rare drop that you get from Rotation C, or 3 resource caches, and that is the Stance mod Bullet Dance. It's the only place that you can get Bullet Dance, and so you'd either have to buy it off of the market for plat, or you would do this. I did this. There are 2 stances for Gunblades. I prefer Bullet Dance. So if you're looking to get Bullet Dance, this is the video for you. Okay, let's hop into a mission, and we're going to go over my process for how I find all the caches. Now, some of this will come with practice, as the caches have a tendency to spawn in hidden areas, like corners and things that you usually wouldn't look for.
There are rich enemy supply caches in the area, but I am unable to pinpoint their exact location. Search them out if you are willing to shoulder the added risk.
Now, one other thing to note is when you get close to an enemy cache, you will hear a humming noise. And this is where another trick we can do comes in. If you go to Options, if you go to your audio settings, and you just turn down music, speech, and transmission all the way, see? You don't hear it anymore. If you just leave on sound effects, you will hear your gun, the crates breaking, and the humming noise for the resource cache. It is not very loud, and the radius in which you start hearing the humming is not very large either. But you... See? There's looter. But it is still useful, and this is a trick. With enough practice, you won't need to use that sound settings trick anymore, but if you prefer to have a little more help with that, I would recommend. Now, if we go ahead and bring up the mini-map, you can see all these little boxes on here. These are all the loot crates. Actually, that explosion is a good point. The explosive barrels do not appear as boxes on your minimap, so you can just ignore them entirely. And looter won't break them either, because they don't drop anything, they just go boom. Now, here's the reason I like using Neja, is these turrets will spawn all over the place in this one, which they're really annoying, and even on a low-level non-steel path, they deal quite a bit of damage, and Neja can just ignore them entirely. So that's why I use them. Use Neja. Okay. Now, we're just gonna go around and just clear out all of the rooms that have little boxes in them. Do not be afraid to look up. Going into these higher places, sometimes they hide crates and other things. Okay, I don't think there's anything here, so we're gonna move on. And as for the objective, now that I've seen it ping, you do not have to progress the objective to find all 3 caches. So what I do is I just search the entire mission, find all the caches, and then move on to the objective. The objective for Void Sabotage is to sabotage a portal, and you are sent to another location through that portal. Resource caches will not spawn on the other side of the portal, so you do not have to worry about missing resource caches by not doing the objective. Now, especially when it comes to this elevator right here, if you see this big room, you're not going to want to use the elevator normally. You're going to want to jump up, and you're going to want to come to this little area right here. You can hop down, and behind these stairs is a hallway to this area where there's a bunch of crates. A resource cache can spawn in here. It's all these little nooks and crannies through like vents and stuff, which is where you're going to find them, which those hidden areas will often, if not always, have crates at least in them. So it's much easier to find them because you're not going to be able to see, oh wait, why are there all these little crates off the side of the map? There's probably a hidden room that you don't know where to get to. So you're going to want to look for open vents, breakable walls, things like that to get to those tight spots. Now, this room in specifically, I have done this mission so many times. There is always like a ton of boxes, as you can see on my mini-map. There's a ton of boxes in here. Those I don't know why, but those literally don't mean anything. There's nothing here in this room, and if there is, I've never found it. So don't worry about that. And then even these rooms, even though there's no hidden rooms in these little lockers, a resource cache can spawn in here. It'll be like in the corner or back here. So just check everything. I think it's the second time I went through the wrong door. Okay, so resource caches can spawn inside this thing. And if you just need to go up here and hit the elevator, and it'll take you down here. And if there's a resource cache, you can now get it. Okay, so this room, when we press step on this pressure plate, this is going to open up. This leads to a Orokin challenge room. The resource caches can spawn inside the challenge room. So if you see this, make sure to clear it and open everything up. First, just ignore all the crates because you're on a time limit. You hear that humming? There's a resource cache. I'm going to complete the challenge first. Okay, that was weird. Okay. So, the resource cache can't spawn inside the rewards room for the challenge, so if you fail the challenge, it's okay. But it can spawn and will spawn inside the challenge room itself, like you see here. Here is our first cache. If I remember, there's just a random one over here. All right. Now, another thing to know is that resource caches only spawn one per room. You can't get multiple in the same room. So if there was like one in here, there wouldn't be one like up here or back there. They can spawn in rooms that are right next to each other, but not in the same room. Okay, we know we cleared out the little hidden room in the elevator, so we can go ahead and just use it like normal. But just remember that spot. I'm going to try and show you as many of those little hidden nooks and crannies as I go through this mission as possible. I might even run it a couple more times, and then just to find more of those spots so I can show you. You won't have to watch the entire mission, but I will go through this run and try to be as thorough as possible. So this room, once again, don't be afraid to look up. Look, there's those annoying turrets again. There can be a resource cache up here. It usually spawns like right here or in the corner. Leave. No. See on the minimap where there's all these boxes on the left here? It would think I'd need to go this way. It's probably in another room. It's just attached. I have so much loot radar. I can see into rooms I can't even reach yet. I'd have to go around. So I'm not going to stress about it. We get there when we get there. Then, see under here, in this room with the water works in the bottom here, you're going to go right underneath, and there's going to be all these lockers down here. A resource cache could spawn in here. I've never seen a resource cache in this particular room, the one with the stairs and these windows, but I don't know the full limitations of where they can spawn, but it's always good to keep your eye out just in case. Now, see, I came this way looking for these goodies. It's a dead end, so it's probably just in a room through another way on the map. Now, oh, we're already at extraction. I haven't even done the objective. That's okay. There's our next one. If you were listening, I started to hear it while I was out here fighting the enemies. You might have not heard it over the blasting, but I heard the hum, and I knew it was going to be nearby. I had a feeling it would be in this room, so here we are. There's our second one. Yeah, so it can be all the way by extraction. It can be all the way at the beginning. So don't be afraid to be extremely thorough. Let's get this. I'm almost done. Then I have seen it spawned under these stairs here with these loot crates. Like it was like right here or right there. Right, so we're gonna just head back towards objective. I thought Nope. Okay. Hear that? There it is. In this room right here, you have this little upwards area, and then you have this big circular area. You have this door right here. You go right under here, and you look up. There's a vent. And we got our third one. Oh, and we got an Ayaton Star. Doing this mission and breaking all the crates is also another good way to get Ayaton Stars. You're probably going to get at least one a mission. I've gotten up to like 3 or 4 just because I'm breaking all the crates. Now that you have all 3, you can just go straight to the objective and ignore all the other things because you found all of them. So there's no need to waste time in looking at all the different possibilities. So, but I am going to go through here and see if I can find any more of those little hidden areas that I can show you. It is a limited size, so I won't find all of them in one go on the mission. Okay, I think I've exhausted all of my options for this instance of this mission, so I am gonna go ahead and just head towards the objective. If I see any more, I will check them out. Yeah. Alright, so in this objective there's 2 terminals, and once the portal hits 50, you just start the next terminal, and it's just like a quick defense. Alright, once you get the portal going, it'll take you to this other side. Again, resource caches cannot appear here. You do not have to worry about these loot boxes. If you want to open them, you can. Ianton stars will appear here, but you do not have to worry about the resource caches appearing here. Then once you get to this side, you're just going to go find what the Lotus will refer to as the VIP. And once you find the VIP there, you're just going to take him out. Once you do that, this thing will open up wherever it is, and there will be a key. And you'll pick it up and take it back to the portal where you came from. Alright, and you'll just take it up to this big laser here, jam it in there, and then you just go right back through the portal. Lotus will freak out saying you want to escape now. It's not going to explode. You just want to go through the portal before the 30 seconds are up. And now you can just head to extraction. It's kind of weird hearing it without the... Now, usually you're going to just get endo as your reward. Because if you didn't get endo, you got something else, it would be like a spy mission. It would say identified and whatever rewards you got. I looks like just got... Oh, look, right there. Identified circuits. So this was probably from the first rotation A. The first cache you open doesn't give you a lot of very good stuff. The second one gives you some endo, some most of the time. And the second one has the chance to give Aya. Actually, it even has the chance of dropping one 19 extract, which is wild. And then Bullet Dance and a couple other things. Okay, that about does it for my thoughts on Void Sabotage. If you watched all the way to the end of the video, thank you. This is quite the long watch compared to my other videos. So if you enjoyed it or found it in any way helpful, please drop a like and consider subscribing to keep up with my uploads. The rest of the video is just footage of me showing some more examples of resource cache spawn locations, so feel free to just look through that at your leisure. But that's all from me. Have a good one, y'all.